Alrighty, so we're in episode 7, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, we just had episode 5 and 6. So since we're in the summer, we're recording more episodes than we generally do now. So yeah, but yeah, we're definitely getting back on the grind for season 3. And how's it feel? Coming back from college and now getting back into the podcast.
Dude, it's fun. Just because we have something to do, right? We're not just sitting at home and just waiting for job applications, right? But no, it's fun. We're having a lot of fun. We're doing a lot of fun episodes. We did a few. Our last episode was definitely our most unorthodox episode, but it was definitely one of our most fun episodes.
That's true.
No, but I'm just excited for what we have for the rest of season 3 because we have some big guests.
Yep. Yeah, we do. So we're almost coming to a close with season 3, and also today we're filming on June 6th, and we all know what's happening tonight,
which is the fight night, the one we've been talking about all season 3.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure by the time this video comes out, it'll probably be like near the end of June, so like maybe like June 22nd, I think. I was checking up like Tuesdays and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be some time until that happens. So by the time this video is out there, the fights are
everyone's gonna know because
everyone's gonna know. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty sure we're both excited to see what's gonna happen and
definitely
see what happens with that.
Definitely excited.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
But today we have a very exciting guest. I've known of this person since middle school. We go back pretty well.
Nice.
And also he's really big into photography. Honestly, in my opinion, one of the best photographers here locally. And also he recently just got his real estate license. So he's been selling houses, things like that. And he can tell us more when he comes on the podcast. So we have Brandon Butler. And Brandon, you want to give a little bit of an introduction about you, what you do?
Yeah, how's it going, guys? So I've been doing photography for about like 5 years or so. I do automotive, portrait, landscape, everything like that. But I've been doing it paid for about a couple years now, I think 1 to 2. But I mostly do automotive, and that's mostly where I get all my money. But just recently, I've gotten my real estate license and been able to like have a real job that pays a little bit more than what I get from photography. Photography is sort of a side gig for me, but I still love doing it on my downtime and stuff like that. But yeah, so I just got my real estate license after a couple months of studying and taking the tests and all like that. And it's been super cool already. I already have a deal under contract. It's going pretty good. It's been a super good learning curve and everything like that. And I've learned a lot so far, but I'm excited to see what else I can learn and how far it goes from here.
Yeah. And for those who watch my YouTube channel, I did a video with Brandon earlier this year talking about this camera, the Canon EOS R5 that we're recording on right now, and also his camera that he uses for photos and stuff. And I think that video has like 1,400 views, so I think it's actually doing pretty well. Yeah, but just speaking about like what got you into like photography for stuff, what interested you?
Yeah, so nothing like really stood out, but my mom always had a camera and was always just taking pictures of like our whole family and everything. Every time we would get together as a family, it'd be like, all right, let's set up the tripod, set up the camera, and get some pictures just for like memories and stuff like that. So that was how I kind of first started. And we used to travel a lot, like go to Tahoe like a ton, camping and stuff like that. So I just like to capture the moment as we're there and everything, and it's turned into me like using it as a job and stuff like that.
Yeah. Nice. That's the craziest thing as a creative. Like you can just make your passion into a job.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, 100%. I feel like all creatives, that's just their thing. They all have that story that they start out with, whether it be from like a young age or something like motivated them. Like for you, I know the YouTube video, the one take YouTube videos that you used to do. Yeah. So it's really cool to see just how you guys have grown.
Yeah, it's awesome
over time. Yeah. So I mean, I know ANISH'S camera. So could you tell everyone which camera you use and like the recommendations?
Yeah. So I started with a Canon T6, or I started with a Canon T3i. So it was like this, basically a very entry level camera. It was my mom's, and she gave it to me once I started doing a ton of photography. It had a little bit of an aftermarket lens on it. I'm not sure which one though. And then from there I went to a T6i. So just basically a newer version of the T3i. And it was nice and it served me well, like did everything that I really needed to. But as soon as I started making a little bit more money and stuff like that, I tried to reinvest it back into my gear. So I went with the Canon EOS RP. And I was going to go with the R, but I realized that it's almost the same thing other than like, video or something like that. I'm not super big into specs, so I didn't know exactly what was the difference, but I knew that it was pretty similar for just like almost half the price. So I was like, I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna see how it works, and I've loved it so far. And mirrorless is so much better than what I've been using before. Um, but yeah, I loved it, and it's a lot better quality than the T6i. But I'd say if you are looking to get into photography and everything, the T6i is an awesome like entry level camera, and it's not too expensive either. So if you wanted to get into that, then that's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for those who want more information, you guys can go check out my video that I made with Brandon on that. And it was like crazy because I remember on that video I got like a lot of comments talking about me and like when we were comparing photos that we took on that day, and like a lot of people are like, oh, like why are you buying such an expensive camera if like like if your photos aren't that great? And I'm like, well, I mainly bought it more as a video camera than a photo camera, so yeah. But I mean, it's just awesome, like especially working with mirrorless and going from something like a kind of just like a beginner camera like the T3i and going all the way to, Canon EOS RP is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's been awesome so far. I really like it. Like even I've filmed a couple videos on it, and I haven't seen like I'm not super big into video, so I don't know like the differences and stuff like that. But what I have seen has been pretty great so far. I just would wonder to see like two side by side videos. We kind of did a comparison, but just like I don't know, I wanted to see the difference and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and also, I mean, we can get more into like real estate and like how you got into that.
Definitely, yeah. So, so I've been like doing it just I think a little bit under a month so far. I got my license I think the first couple weeks of May, and already I had someone contact me. It was one of my photography friends actually that I've met through like automotive photography. And he was like, hey, I got a buddy that's looking to buy right now. And he even had it on his story and everything. He's like, Elk Grove real estate agents hit me up or whatever. And I'm like, okay, this is my time to shine. So I went into it. I have a mentor already that's working with me through my brokerage. I work with EXP Realty, and it's an all online brokerage. They have a ton of benefits and everything. But anyways, my mentor has been a huge help so far. And he's done a lot of the stuff, but kind of just led me through it. So he's kind of like taken charge, but just showed me everything that I should be doing as we go along. So, so basically that's been really cool. I've learned a lot so far, and yeah. Yeah,
that's awesome. Like, did you ever expect like when you're younger that like this is what you're going to do, or like what did you think you were planning to do when you were growing up?
I'm not really sure, honestly. So I think before, I mean, I was big into basketball and everything, so I said like, oh, it would be sick if I was like an NBA player. But I don't think I ever thought I was good enough to do like that exactly, But I was into photography too. But I always thought like I'm big into like I watch a lot of YouTubers that talk about like financial stuff and like that. So I think me being a photographer wasn't like my biggest passion, because I knew that I couldn't. I mean, you could make a bunch of money, but I couldn't make what I kind of wanted to. Unless I was at it for like years and years and I was able to expand it somehow. So I was figured that I would go into real estate and I could still use my photography skills for like listing houses and stuff like that, getting pictures of the houses. And and I feel like I've incorporated a lot of the skills I learned through photography and meeting new people into real estate, because I have those same like I'm able to like communicate with them the same way. I know what they're looking for. I am able to provide for them and stuff like that. And I feel like it's kind of the same thing, but just work into a different job field.
Yeah, definitely. And also speaking about basketball, I remember back in middle school, like we were doing shooting for the stars, things like that. I remember those days.
Yeah.
And also like I know you're also really good at basketball, and I think you only just played FIBA, right? Or did you play any?
No,
any competitive?
Before I moved here, I lived in the Bay Area. I played AAU a couple, I think 2 seasons or something like that. It wasn't like big into it, but I played AAU like 2 times, and we traveled to Reno a couple times and played like tournaments there. But yeah, I wasn't like in these big leagues or whatever, like trying to push myself to get higher. It was kind of just for fun after a while, and just kept playing with it and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I feel like all 3 of us on this podcast, we just have basketball.
Basketball's been with us growing up.
We're all rocking with basketball. It's nice to see.
Yeah.
But so like for real estate, what if anyone of the listeners were to be interested in like getting into real estate, what advice would you give them?
I'd say just do a lot of research. So I went on YouTube, and I was like on YouTube like learning everything that I could. I looked up just real estate in the search bar and watched every single video. When I was taking the tests and everything. By the way, I took my college classes through FYBA. FLC. We're just talking about basketball. I took my college classes through FLC, and it's like 3 to 4 classes and about 12 units if you want to get actually free tuition and everything like that. So I took my classes there, and it took a couple months. It actually wasn't too bad. And then I think because of COVID, it took a lot longer to get my license and take the test and everything. But yeah, so I took my classes there. But yeah, after you finish everything and you're ready to take the test, just watch so many YouTube videos and know all your vocab for sure. But yeah, I just watched everyone I could, figured out everything about the job field, and then just went into it being confident that I could pass the test.
Yeah, but like speaking about the test, like what did you have to do in the test, and like what were the types of materials you had to prepare for it?
So it's a pretty wide variety of things, as you can like imagine. Like with real estate, there's no like set boundaries, it's all over the place. So like there's like anything could happen, So it was, I think, 300 questions. No, my bad. It was 3 hours that you got, but 150 questions, and you had to get a 70%. So it wasn't too bad, but the course material is pretty hard. And I think I studied pretty well and got a lot of these questions like in my study material that were on the test. But then there was also a lot of questions that I had almost no idea, but I could use the vocab that I was studying and everything to kind of figure it out and piece it out. But yeah, it was pretty hard, but I was actually kind of surprised by how many I could get right because I studied so much. Like there was a point in time when I was studying like the whole day, 3 days straight, and I'm just like, I wasn't off my phone. I was watching videos. I was going on my Quizlet and everything like that. And yeah, but it really paid off. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really great to see, man. Just your hard work paying off.
I know.
That's
it felt amazing. Thank you. It was pretty crazy. Like, so they'll give you a little piece of paper once you finish and everything. They don't let you open it until you get to your car, or at least outside the building. So I was kind of like nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking. I was holding my paper and everything like that, and I was like, oh god, I don't know what happened. But you get your paper right after you pass the test because it's all online, or right after you take the test, and they'll print it out for you. Got to my car, opened it, and I was like, oh, I passed. But it was crazy. Yeah, I was really excited because I'd been like waiting so long to take this test. And then even after I passed the test, it was still like another month or so until I got my license itself. So that kind of sucked because I was so I was so ready to just get into it. And then I just had to wait another month after passing. So it was cool though. But yeah, it just took a while.
Yeah, definitely. I guess like we can like go back into photography and like I guess like what was like one of your favorite moments like in taking photos, or like one of your favorite photos you've taken?
Yeah, so well, when I'm doing like photo shoots and stuff, one of my favorite things is kind of just meeting new people and like getting to like figure out everybody's story and like having seeing all these cars that they're able to buy and everything like that. I just think it's so cool, I really like to like, even with real estate, I feel like I can kind of get to understand people's past and see like that and look into how they've gotten to where they are today and stuff like that. So that's one of the coolest things to me, is just figuring out people's story and stuff like that. But if you were to go into photography, I think it's when I'm like traveling. It's like I get to see all these pretty places and everything like that, get the pictures of them, and it's just like memories, And so I have like a full folder of like, me and my girlfriend just went on a trip to San Diego. So we have this little folder on Google Photos. It's just a ton of pictures from our trip to San Diego. And I feel like I could just look back to that anytime I want and feel like I'm like right back there. So I think that's one of the coolest parts for me.
Yeah. I mean, you just said it right there. Like definitely like photography and like, taking videos and stuff, like it definitely gives you more connections with other people and builds these relationships. So yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to see that for sure. But also, I guess like I know you do a lot of stocks, right? And like, how's that going with you?
So it's been pretty good. So I'm sure you guys, even if you're not into stocks, you've kind of heard of like Dogecoin and stuff like that. Right. And or if you heard of like the GameStop run up, it like ran up pretty fast after just something crazy, So I was in Dogecoin. I made a bit of money off that, so that was really cool. And then AMC too. is like, it's kind of like along the same lines of GameStop, is they're trying to squeeze out like the hedge funds. They're trying to like bet on I'm trying to simplify it real quick. So like they're trying to bet on the stock going down basically. And with everybody buying into these stocks, it's going to force them out because they're going to lose money because the stock is going to go up, if that makes sense. So since the stock is going up, then all the little traders and all the retail traders are making a ton of money, while these hedge funds that are billionaires are losing just a little bit of, you know, their net worth. So it's been pretty cool though, and it's been a awesome thing to learn about. And I feel like a lot of other people are getting into it now because of all this like low barrier to entry. Like Robinhood makes it like free to trade with stuff, as well as like Webull and a bunch of other platforms. And I think once Dogecoin, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of like a meme coin, right? Like it's a meme, and everyone's like, it's like 40 cents to get into right now. You know, you buy it for 40 cents, even if you don't put in a ton of money. It's like, oh, I'm in stocks now, you know, I'm learning it. And I think it's cool because it's like, it's such a low barrier to entry, but it could still make you a bunch of money, and you could learn a lot along the way. So I've really liked it so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the funniest thing because, like, you know, like recently we've seen like AMC go up and like all those other places, and it's just like, I know like one source is like Reddit, like that's one of the
that's one of the main things.
Yeah, but it's just like crazy to see that. And also, you know, with like cryptocurrency and also the rise of NFTs, like people just making like people just making virtual things and making like literally like bank on that.
NFTs have been something that I wasn't able to like get behind or understand almost at all. And I mean, I get it, but it's like, it's so confusing. And then you like look into everything, all the deep like the undermining like things that go into like these cryptocurrencies and these NFTs is so confusing. Like I've tried so hard to understand it, but I just couldn't.
You know, I've also been like trying to look up like how to make your own NFT. I just like, I don't know where to start.
That'd be super cool.
The video, like really the Charlie Bit Me video that's like being sold as an NFT now.
Really?
So they're taking it off YouTube now.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, people just make NFTs like out of anything,
right? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Well,
and they're making bank off it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard of artists like putting their album covers and kind of stuff like that, or like a different picture for each song, and just selling those for like so much money, and it's insane.
Not for real. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that was one thing we were mentioning, I think, in this season 2 finale, that like here, if you want to make bank, there you'll find one way or another to make bank.
Yeah, right.
I feel like that's just the thing, right? You just gotta have the hustler mindset or whatnot.
Definitely.
I feel like you can make bank.
Well, and I think it's cool because I think with like social media now, I feel like there's almost no, or like there's so many ways that you can make money, whether it's, you know, through photography or whatever you want it to be. I feel like social media can kind of push that for you, and especially like YouTube, we've seen so many just random people that blow up on YouTube, depending on, like, you know, whatever they're doing, like whether it's just vlogs or like photography, or just they like to build out their car and race their cars and stuff like that. You know, I think it's so cool that we could do almost anything and just kind of have other people have a passion for it, and you could all come together like that.
Right. Yeah. No, it actually brings up a question, Anish. Because I know you're a YouTuber, right? So, what's the profit like for YouTube? Like, how many views or subscribers do you need to like actually start making decent money?
Yeah. So the rules for YouTube right now for monetization is you have to have over 1,000 subscribers, and also you have to have over like 4,000 watch hours, like total time.
Okay.
So that's like something that like I still need to get. Like I'm pretty close to achieving that, but like I still need, you know, more to get to that. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough barrier to entry for sure. Like once you get to that, I feel like it's gonna be pretty rewarding, or like, you know, you'll be happy about it. But it's super hard to get to it at first, and you have to be making like consistent content and like having a bunch of people watching that. So I think it's super hard, but once you do get to it, it sounds pretty sweet.
Exactly. Yeah. Gaining like your first, you know, couple thousand subscribers is definitely like the hardest for any creator.
Exactly.
But then like once you get into like the, you know, like the 10,000s, 50,000s, 100,000s, like that's like when you already have an audience, like the algorithm will start to promote your stuff, and then like, you know, it's just a matter of time till like you get to the millions. So yeah.
Well, and I feel like that's kind of like I've heard a lot of people say the same thing about like real estate. Once you do your first deal, that is the hardest thing ever, you know, because you have no idea what you're doing. But then you get into like several other deals, and then you have people referring you, and you start knowing, you know, what you like to do in each process and stuff like that. And I think it goes the same with almost everything, to where once you get that first one down, you can kind of build off that and start learning from there.
Mm-hmm. And also, I mean, like, speaking about like how you like, promote your photos or promote your business, like, what are like the top like ways you do your promotion?
So, I honestly do need to get better at that. Like, maybe like running ads or something like that to kind of just show off my photography. And it's been super hard to build on Instagram ever since like the algorithm changed or whatever. But I like to go to Cars and Coffee every like Saturday, and I do miss it sometimes, but I try to go as much as I can. And I'll kind of just promote myself there. I'll be like, oh, take some pictures there. If anyone has like their Instagram handle on their car, I'll kind of take pictures of their car, send them a couple pictures, and be like, hey, I can get pictures for you whenever you want me to. And just kind of trying to connect with people as much as I can. I'll hand out my cards and stuff like that. And most of the ways I book some of my shoots is I'll find people that like tag Cars and Coffee in pictures, or go to these meets, or anyone that I'm friends with that is like with other car people. I'll find their page and I'll just DM them real quick and say, hey, these are some of my pictures. These are my prices. If you would ever want to shoot with me, just let me know and we could totally set something up. And that's how I book a lot of my shoots. And I think a lot of people expect it to, or think that it should just kind of come to you and be like, have these people just text you and set it up from there. But I've really tried to like reach out myself and be like, provide myself and just not be too pushy, but just, if you guys ever want pictures, then just let me know. And I feel like that's really benefited me.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the biggest thing for like a lot of creators starting out is like they expect like, once you start out, people will want to come to you, but that's not really the case. Like
Right.
you have to put yourself out there. You need to put like the trust. You have to build it with that audience or that specific people to really get those businesses going. And also I feel like for me, like I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I'm not really great at promoting. I think like I think that you're definitely doing a better job at like reaching out to more people than I have. But also I know like business cards definitely do help out too. Like having business cards, passing them out to different clients or things like that. So there's like so many different ways to promote.
Right. Yeah. No. 100%. And then just like for outside of photography and real estate, let's get to know you a little bit better. So do you have any hobbies that you like, or any things that you just like doing?
For sure. Yeah. So recently I've been like, I just got a new Mustang, so I've been super happy about that. It's been a lot of fun. I bought it from my grandpa actually, so that was kind of cool that we could kind of pass that down and everything too. But I've been trying to like work on that and just have fun with it. I got an exhaust. I tinted my windows. I haven't done much to it, but I would like to do a little bit more, just do some small mods and stuff like that. But that's one thing. I'm big into like the car scene because I think photography kind of introduced me to it. And then I just loved it from there and everything like that. And yeah, I mean, there's not much to say because photography, I feel like, is one of my main things. And then I watch a lot of like financial things. So that's one big thing. I watch like Graham Stephan, Andre Jick, and like Meet Kevin. I don't know if you guys have heard of those, but I don't know. That's one of the main things is I like to learn a lot about like this financial freedom and yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like you're making your hobby as like your work.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It just makes it more fun in the process.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one thing we talked about. If you're gonna do something right, have fun with it.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, that's good to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, another thing that I had, it was just kind of like running through my mind. For like creative processes, a lot of people on Instagram that try to like use their Instagram as a channel or whatnot, right? They because I'm in PR, so I mainly deal with media and stuff like that.
Cool.
Instagram's really big for us. So what a lot of people say is like the losing followers thing, right? Posting content which attracts followers or which loses followers. So do you have any experience with that? Just like what type of content for photography or even for real estate? I don't know if you brand it through your media.
Yeah, not a ton yet, but yeah. So like I think a lot of people like to see different, like just be creative with it, because if you're doing the same pictures over and over, it's like it's like every other picture, But if you're able to, like, I've started incorporating like rolling shots into my photography and stuff like that. So I'll go out of the side of my girlfriend's car while she's driving, and I'll hold my camera out the window and snap a couple shots and just, hold down the trigger and try and get a ton of pictures so that we can get just that one crispy shot that everything's in focus except for the, the road and the trees in the background. They're all kind of panning. So I feel like that's one thing that separates me from other people, because not everyone is able to do these rollers or has tried to do these rollers, because you need like another person driving for you or something like that. So I've tried to incorporate that, and then I've also tried to kind of incorporate some of my social life. I feel like a lot of people like that too. I mean, some of my most liked pictures are just me with my girlfriend or something like that. So I don't know if that's because I have a lot of like followers from like high school or something like that, and they like to see that more than like cars and photography, you know. But maybe that's it. But I feel like a lot of incorporating that, it can like build like a, what is it? Can build like rapport between you and you know, the people that are following you, and make them kind of want to come back to your channel or your page and see what's up with you, and like what you have going on, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, getting those roller shots, as you said, are not easy at all.
Yeah,
Like
that
even
doesn't
for me,
seem
like
easy.
you know, like putting my DSLR or my mirrorless camera outside the window, like that's pretty sketchy.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
but yeah.
I made like a little paracord bracelet that straps onto my camera. So that's one thing that like I'm not very scared, because it's pretty, like, I think paracord is, you know, for like parachuting or something like that. So it's supposed to hold like a ton of weight.
Yeah.
So it's like clips onto my wrist and hangs from my camera, and I just hold it like that. And if I drop it, I think it would be fine. But one thing is, I have my CPL on there, and I was rotating it, and it just fell off because I basically unscrewed it. Instead of like rotating it the other way, I unscrewed it this way. So it rolled off while I was doing the rolling shots. And luckily it didn't hit the car that I was taking pictures of, because that would have been a nightmare. But it rolled down the road for a while, stayed in the same place. So we had to go park, and I had to go find it. And there was cars driving like right over the top of it, or like, not, luckily the tires didn't hit it, but they're, you know, they're going over it. And I found it, and there was no crack in the screen or anything, or the glass. It was just like a little chip in the side of the CPL. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me that.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's crazy.
yeah. I mean, that could be kind of scary if you like hit the car with that thing,
Yeah,
because
Yeah, right.
you never know
That's
what
a
that could
bigger
do.
problem.
Well, and there are
Yeah,
these like
like
expensive cars too. So I'm like,
Mhm.
like if
Yeah.
I did that anything to them, that'd be so scary for me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember like when we were filming that video, you also had the paracord when we were taking photos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like it gave me ideas to like do something like that myself, but then I realized for video, like it's kind of difficult to like film yourself
That's
if
true.
you have
Yeah.
that paracord on too. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe like if I'm purely just taking photos for the day, then yeah, like I could definitely see myself using something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like the neck strap. I feel like it's kind of like
Yeah.
in the way, or so. I don't know. I just didn't like it. So I liked having it just kind of connected to my hand. So I think it was because of how much, like, when I first started, I traveled. So if I'm like have it around my neck, I don't want to bring it up and kind of yank my neck every time I take the picture. So if I can just have it in my hand while I'm doing a hike or something like that, I just take it out, snap it, and then I can hold it like this, or I let it even dangle, like, you know, if I have to. So it's like so much better than it like swinging back and forth on your neck and stuff like that. So yeah, I've liked that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure many people agree with that. But also, like speaking about like you know, taking photos and also like your business and like what you do, like I'm sure like, you know, a lot of people go through burnout, and we've talked about this on the podcast a lot about, you know, people burning out and like, you know, losing their motivation and their interest. So like, have you gone through that, or like, you know, if you have, like, you know, have you done anything to kind of get you back up?
Yeah. So I think when you like make one of your passions a business, or like a source of income, I think it kind of brings you away from the passion a little bit, you know? So I haven't a lot of times I haven't gone out anymore and just shot and just took pictures and stuff like that. So I've been kind of just waiting for someone to reach out to me, or for someone to get back to me for me reaching out to them, to start taking more pictures. And I feel like that's one thing that I really need to improve on, is just going out there and taking pictures for fun, even of my car, or, you know, of scenery, pictures of my girlfriend or something like that, you know, just anything that I could do to just get some pictures out there. And I feel like as long as you just keep shooting and stuff like that and keep learning more, then you won't get burnt out, hopefully. But I think it's definitely easy to get burnt out if you just keep doing the same thing over and over. But if you keep learning new things and changing up what you're doing, then I think it's, you know, you can kind of get past the burnt out stage. And yeah.
No, 100%. Do you have any stories from like any memorable stories from a specific photo shoot, or just a photo session, or like, because I feel like you can get a lot of really fun and memorable stories, right? Meeting new people, learning about them, having just interactions. So you have any fun stories you want to share?
Honestly, I don't have a ton, because it's pretty like we get there, we take the pictures, and then we're kind of done. But
Okay.
but I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I meet these people, and I get to do the things with them. But it's not, we're never really like me driving in their cars and doing crazy stuff with them. But I think one of the coolest things for me is I was invited to take pictures of this like $4 million Pagani, and it was like the craziest thing. Yeah, and I think Anish said that he's been to like the Pagani factory or whatever. So that's
in
super
Italy.
cool.
Yeah, that's super fun.
Wow.
And but yeah, it was super cool, and it was like the craziest car I've ever seen. And it was cool that I've seen it one other time, but it was cool that I was invited, to go take the pictures, and it wasn't like, oh, just at another car meet or something like that. So that was one of the coolest things. Had a couple times that we've like been taking pictures, and the cops have rolled up and been like, oh, you're not supposed to be here, and it's been like chill, I think when we were with you, Anish, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Brandon, he was taking photos of me for graduation, like my graduation pictures and stuff.
Okay.
And we were going on top of the hill, like near like Russell Ranch, which is like near In-N-Out.
Okay.
Like
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So we were like going up that hill, and then like the cop pretty much just like follows us and saying like, hey, like, what are you doing? And then he sees me in like my graduation outfit. He's like, oh, you're taking photos. It's like, okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But he was still sketched out too. It was the
it's kind of nerve wracking. Yeah.
But then another time I've shot up there in that same place like 2 other times, I think. So I was like, this never happened before. Why is it happening now? And it was weird because it's like this wide open gate that's always open, right? And he said something like the yellow gate, it means you can't pass. But we're like, dude, the gate's open, and no one knows that this yellow gate is like a stop sign for anyone. But whatever, it was cool. I mean, I think that adds to the fun a little bit, but I'm not like one of those people that's like gonna push the boundaries too much to where I'm gonna get in trouble. It's just like I feel like there's so many places that are like trespassing or like right over the fence of something that I would love to shoot, but it's like, I guess I can't shoot there because I don't know, just because of the law, Yeah. But like, because like I've seen a lot of people been able to like go into like shopping centers and kind of park in front of like the movie theater or something, something crazy like that. And I think that'd be so cool. But then again, you just can't really do that unless you have like permission from the higher ups and stuff like that. They're gonna let you do that. Or like, just like little like pieces of like land that aren't like secluded and stuff like that people that haven't traveled to and stuff like that. I think that's the coolest part. But I wish there was like more places here in Folsom at least that were kind of like secluded that I could take the car to and just have no one else around and take the pictures there.
Yeah, definitely. I even remember like a YouTuber that both Brandon and I watch, and like also who's someone who's given me like a lot of creative tips in like filmmaking, Peter McKinnon. I remember he actually made a video like a couple years ago talking about like going into like private properties and like trespassing and stuff.
Really?
And like he made a video, and I think one tip that he gave to like people that go into like private properties and trying to get shots that it's not really possible.
Yeah.
What he said to do is like try like record your camera, like the memory storage, and like just like record of you like rotating the dial, like seeing the pictures and stuff, and you hitting the delete button, so that way like when you're showing it to the cops, you're just playing that video instead of deleting any of the footage. Because sometimes like because like sometimes the police will like come up to you and be like, hey, like delete the photos that you've taken here. So instead of doing that, you can just play that video, and then boom, like that person thinks that you deleted it, but really you still have all of it there.
Well, and I watched this other guy, his name is North Borders. He's like based out of Australia, and he does a lot of photography. One thing that he said is he takes around like one of those yellow reflective vests as if he's like working on a property or something like that. And I thought that was so creative, but like the weirdest thing ever to like think about. But I mean, I mean, it works, like people are gonna see it and be like, oh, they have credentials to be there because they're wearing the vest, maybe even the hard hat or something like that. You know? So I thought that was really cool.
I mean, it's creative, but it's also like sketchy because if someone finds out that you're not that, then you can tell out.
Exactly. Like we were even like, I think I did a shoot with this like red Camaro, right? And we were like in this like construction area, it was nothing big. It was just they were building there, and you're not supposed to be there, I guess, while they're building. And there was like this little security guard, and we drove right past him, and we just started taking some pictures in that area. And he followed us. He's like, "What are you guys doing here?" And we're like, "Oh, we're just taking pictures." But he's like, "You guys got to get out." And we're like, "Okay." I mean, there's nothing happening. It's an off day. It's like a Saturday or Sunday. There's no construction happening. But sure, we can leave if you really need us to. But
right. Yeah. No, we get. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like one of my like crazy moments, like when it comes to like being like like shooting like on private property and stuff,
right,
is like when I went to Greece, like to Santorini, I brought my drone with me, and technically you're not supposed to fly a drone like anywhere in Santorini, so I was flying my drone like near like one of the more like popular areas of Santorini because I wanted to get some drone shots,
right,
and then like I think one other drone pilot, like he saw me flying, and then he came up to me, it's like, "Hey, like do you have like your license and stuff to fly here?" Because I only have a license for the US through the FAA, but I don't have like any paperwork to fly in Greece,
international,
like that. Yeah, internationally. So I just like brought it down. I just like said like, "Oh, like I didn't know, I just have my US license," and he told me to like delete the footage, and I took that same tip from Peter, and I just like filmed like the storage and stuff, and just like showed me delete it, and he fell for it, and he was like, "All right, thank you." And I was like,
so funny, dude.
At least I still got my clip. So
okay.
Yeah, drone rules have been pretty crazy lately that I've been hearing about. Like they've been really regulated, but yeah.
Yeah, like especially in Canada, I think last year was I think it was like one of like the last years to kind of like register yourself, because after that like you can't like really fly for fun anymore. Like you have to have like a proper license and everything, and you have to do the paperwork and everything, and like taking the test and stuff like that. So
wait, so you've done that?
Well, for the US, it's different.
Right,
like, yeah, you can have like a hobby license and stuff, or you can have like what they call the Part 107, which is like if you want to fly for commercial use. Mm-hmm. So I haven't done that one yet. I'll probably take it sometime, like maybe either like later this year, next year. But yeah, for right now, I just have like a hobby license and just flying it there. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. At least I try my best to like fly by the rules. Like don't fly over people. Not near power lines or over 400 feet. I know like some of my friends, you also know, but he like that person's like flown his drone over like 400 feet. So
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it gets pretty crazy with when it comes to flying drones. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
no, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's really interesting. You want to get into
we can get into the audio portion. Yeah, we've been going for like 40 minutes. So
I
think we're gonna go into the audio portion where me and where us and Brandon are just gonna have more talks, things like that.
Yeah.
And for those who are watching the video, make sure you guys go check it out, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and Brandon, go ahead and plug your media so people can reach out to you.
Yeah, so my Instagram for my photography is Brando's Photos. It's gonna be BRANDOZ photo. And then for my real estate, it's going to be Brandon Butler _ the realtor. And then if you ever need have any real estate questions or anything like that, you can contact me at 916-545-0821. And just ask any questions you really want to, and I can help you out with that.
There you go. Perfect. Promoting on the podcast. That's what we're talking about.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave us some feedback if you can. That'd be much appreciated.
Exactly.
And tune into our upcoming episodes. Tune into this audio one. Check that out in our link tree on our Instagram. And other than that, just thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Awesome. Thank you so much.